Live from Citizen TV, this is JKL with Jeff Koinange.
And you know, if it's Wednesday, it's all about those three letters on the keyboard that follow each other, JKL. Thanks so much for joining us on this very last Wednesday in September. It's a very, very auspicious week because 6 days from now, the government will be launching what they call the Social Health Authority, SHA, as it's known. And we're going to be tackling it today. We have a whole host of, we have a special JKL because it's a split screen. My colleague and good friend Trevor Ombija is live at Taifa Hall at that's the University of Nairobi. And he has a whole host of guest top government officials who will be explaining to you all what SHA is all about. Yo, Trevor, what's the mood on the ground right now?
Well, Jeff, thank you so much. It's absolutely fantastic. Many questions from the audience. They want to find out why do they need to transition from NHIF to SHA. And the biggest question, Jeff, is what's in it for them? So tonight, we have nurses in the audience. We have patients in the audience. Later on, we'll have a panel of guests here led by the PS for State Department for Medical Services from the Ministry of Health, Hari Kimutai. Dr. Patrick Amoth will also be here, Director General, Ministry of Health. Elijah Washira is the Acting CEO, Social Health Authority, and Dr. Zainab Gura, Acting Deputy Director General, Ministry of Health. They will be here to answer all the questions that the audience has. Why should they move from NHIF to SHA? And the biggest of them all, what's in it for them? That's the conversation we're having here later on, Jeff.
Absolutely, Trevor, and you're the right man at the right place. So, folks, start tweeting at Koinange Jeff, at Citizen TV Kenya. The hashtag is JKLIVE. JKLIVE begins right now, tonight.
SHA is for their benefit. They need to register so that they can access care.
I am persuaded beyond doubt that we will deliver the registration of universal health coverage in record time.
Countdown to SHA rollout. Government embarks on a mass registration of Kenyans into social health insurance, targeting 36 million Kenyans by October the 1st.
We have documented 61 persons who've lost their lives. And these are the cases we call extrajudicial killings.
Death of the innocents. Human rights groups demand judicial inquiry into the death of 61 and abduction of 67 Kenyans during the Gen Z protests in June.
You will not report to the school because the county government of Asindisho has not paid your school fees.
Nilitumanishwa email baadaye na shule that fees haikulipwa. Nililipa.
Anatomy of a cruel scam. Uasin victims tell the court on how they were duped into paying millions of shillings for a non-existent education program in Finland. All right, welcome to the broadcast. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Yulanzala. Now, tonight, we begin our broadcast with the issue of unresolved killings and abductions exactly 3 months after the Occupy Parliament protest of June the 25th. Now, 6 human rights groups, legal and medical associations say 61 deaths and 67 cases of enforced disappearances were reported during the anti-government protests witnessed in the country. Now, speaking when they released a report on the events of June 25th, Amnesty International Kenya and the Law Society of Kenya say they will push for a formation of a judicial commission of inquiry to probe police excesses and also file a case in court demanding justice. Take a listen.
3 months after the deadly protests in the country and the long wait for justice for the affected victims, human rights, legal and medical associations have continued to call for accountability from the government. In an event to mark the day when protesters occupied Parliament, 6 organizations have released a report detailing the historic day that left 6 Kenyans dead outside Parliament and hundreds others nursing injuries, which included gunshot wounds. The group, led by Amnesty International and the Law Society of Kenya, has put the number of those killed during the anti-government protests at 61.
61 persons who've lost their lives. And these are the cases we call extrajudicial killings. 61. As IMLU, we have conducted autopsies on 49 of those bodies that tell us the actual cause of death.
During the same period, 67 people were reported missing or abducted, even though the number has now reduced to 27 after 40 cases were resolved.
The president at one point or another did say or state that he did not have the names of the missing persons. And so we are calling for the immediate release of these 27.
With the unresolved murders and abductions, despite these violations being captured on camera and witness accounts, the organizations say they will seek legal route to ensure the affected families get justice.
12,000 people have called for a judicial commission of inquiry. We are going to be presenting this to the National Assembly. We are also going to be engaging with the judiciary. And lastly, we will also, in good faith, reach out to the law enforcement agencies to give them the opportunity to essentially course correct the behavior that we have seen over the last 4 months.
The Law Society of Kenya is collecting information together with our stakeholders and our partners in regards to mounting a consolidated petition towards reparations for all those who lost their lives and all those who lost or had an interest affected in one way or the other, especially in terms of a human rights regime.
The group has condemned police for failing to help injured protesters, covering officers' faces with masks, and using lethal weapons on unarmed peaceful protesters who were armed with flags and phones.
Kenyan authorities must conduct prompt, thorough, and independent investigations into all human rights violations committed in the context of the protests.
They have also called on government to gazette the revocation of the deployment of the military to protect critical infrastructure following the deadly protests, saying it failed to stipulate guidelines and timelines for the deployment. Gatete Njoroge, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
All right, Gatete, thanks so much for that. Now, the Ministry of Interior's National Government Administration officers will be on the government's front line in the push to register Kenyans into the Social Health Authority ahead of its rollout next week. Now, the officers will use the same approach that they used to register 6 million farmers into the subsidized fertilizer program. The collaboration between the Ministry of Interior and that of Health comes as the government sets to enroll 12 million households into the National Health Coverage, or rather Universal Health Coverage Program during the first part of its implementation. Let's get more from our very own Brenda Wanga.
Five days to the rollout of the Universal Health Coverage through the Social Health Authority. And the government is pooling resources together to get the critical mass required to make the program operational. The network, presented by the Ministry of Interior through the National Government Administration officers, has now been activated.
I am persuaded, just the same way we, through Ngao, supported very efficiently the registration of farmers for the distribution of fertilizer, where we enrolled over 6.5 million farmers in record time and saved the country hundreds of millions, or is it billions actually, which had been proposed by consultants. I am persuaded beyond doubt that we will deliver the registration of universal health coverage in record time and at minimum cost to the government of Kenya.
The Ministry of Interior has availed its officers right from the sub-locations to the 8 regions. They will be charged with the responsibility of coordinating the registration of Kenyans for UHC. They will be expected to take advantage of their network coverage spanning 8 regions of 47 counties, all the way down to over 9,000 sub-locations to encourage Kenyans to register en masse.
The reason we are here today, because of the tremendous work, the tremendous experience, the good connection, the prompt sensitization that you have been able to do at down at community level. We really need your expertise. We need to leverage on your platform so that we can sensitize, inform the community about the benefits.
And it's easier. And between the 106,000 elders and the 106,000 or 110,000 CHPs, I think this is a team that will deliver this thing in record time.
The Ministry of Health aims to register 12 million households, translating into at least 38 million people into the SHA. Already, 1.6 million people have been registered. The Ministry of Health maintaining that the registration into SHA isn't optional.
That is a very important reason for registration, and that's why we are putting it as mandatory. I'm still saying it is mandatory because we are implementing the act as it is.
But as the push for the registration gathers steam, the government is also calling upon its officers to help fight what it terms as misinformation that could threaten the public's buy-in of SHA.
The message has not reached quite well. The coverage is not good. At the higher level, there's a lot of things going on in social media that may change the vision of Kenyans. They will not understand that this is for their benefit. We need you to inform them that SHA is for their benefit. They need to register so that they can access care.
The two ministries now say they will work together to ensure that the provision of UHC, one of the government's key agenda, is successful. Brenda Wanga, Citizen TV.
All right, Brenda, thanks so much for that. At the same time, the Health Ministry has unveiled new packages contained in the medical scheme that is to be rolled out on the 1st of October. That's next Tuesday. The ministry says the packages have enhanced benefits that show the conferment's commitment to achieving universal health coverage for all Kenyans and to ensure access quality, equitable and affordable services without experiencing financial hardship. Let's get more from our very own Stephen Little.
In what the government now terms as a low-cost and high-impact intervention of the healthcare provision in the country, the Health Ministry and its working group has unpacked the new package of the medical scheme. In the new SHA benefits, the ministry says it will ensure access by all Kenyans, particularly on primary health emergency services, with emphasis on preventive, promotive, curative care services, rehabilitative and palliative care. Screening for chronic diseases and provision of palliative care services has also been added. It was previously not covered under NHIF. Under the outpatient care package, there will be lab services for diabetes, hypertension, sickle cell and asthma, with a focus on comprehensive care including preventive and chronic conditions. Under inpatient, reimbursement rate is standardized across hospitals, irrespective of whether it is a private or public facility. SHA has also introduced Linda Mama package, which covers for the antenatal care ANC, postnatal care PNC, delivery by CS and normal, newborn child and anti-D serum. In addition, indigent mothers will be covered by the government for full benefits with improved reimbursement of 10,000 shillings for normal delivery at dispensary and health centers. Renal services have also been enhanced under SHA. Hemodialysis scope has been expanded, as well as new service on peritoneal dialysis, kidney transplant for donor and recipient and post-transplant immunosuppressants. Under mental health services, SHA has increased the rate of reimbursement for drug and substance abuse rehabilitation. The new packages also entail hematology and oncology services that has an expanded scope that includes management of sickle cell disease, diagnosis and staging of cancers, as well as standardized treatment of cancers based on clinical guidelines. Under emergency evacuation and treatment, the packages include emergency evacuation from the point of the incident to the nearest facility. Resuscitation and stabilization in life-threatening conditions is also guaranteed and is accessible to all Kenyans regardless of registration or premium payment status. Also in the package are palliative care, overseas treatment, screening services, optical services and surgical services. Stephen Letos, Citizen TV.
Stephen, thanks so much for that. Now, listen, concerns are rising over what appears limited allocations in the enhancement of various medical services, despite the expected higher premiums by contributors. Now, let's take a look at some of those packages contained in SHA benefits tariffs published by the Ministry of Health on the 20th of September. Take a look. Now, we begin with maternity care. The new medical system and scheme will pay for normal delivery at 10,000 shillings, while cesarean sections will benefit with 30,000 shillings, and this will be at all level hospitals. Now, under optical care, 550 shillings has been assigned for glasses. But there is a limit. A family is only allowed to spend up to 1,000 shillings per year. In case of eye consultations, that will be covered under the outpatient program, which right now, as per primary care system, has been allocated or assigned 500 shillings per person per year. Now, there is a challenge with dental services. All services relating to oral health will be catered for with 2,000 shillings per household per year. However, this is dependent on availability of resources, which, as things stand, have not been allocated by the government under the Primary Healthcare Fund. Now, at the end of life, the new medical insurance scheme is planned to pay up to 3,000 shillings for embalming of a body. Now, for storage at a mortuary, the Social Health Authority will pay 500 shillings per day for a maximum of 5 days. However, SHA says that this is dependent upon budgetary allocation. Now, even though the government says it has revamped cancer care, cancer screening is limited. Screening for prostate cancer through prostate screening antigen will be financed with up to 1,500 shillings. The ministry publication, however, indicates that cancer-specific screenings will only be rolled out subject to budgetary allocation, which, as per current year's budget, is limited. Now, patients needing admission will be covered for 2,240 shillings per day at level 3 hospitals. This is, however, limited to 180 days per year per family, equivalent to 6 months. Now, the biggest shocker is perhaps in critical laboratory investigations. The authority will pay 4,300 shillings only per person per year for essential diagnostic laboratory investigations for diabetes to diagnosis, cardiovascular diseases, and now the authority will pay 2,850 shillings for lab investigations per person per year. Now, sickle cell lab investigations will attract 6,800 shillings from the Social Health Authority, while asthma or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease diagnostic investigations will be financed up to 700 shillings. Now, don't forget, That is the topic of conversation on tonight's JKL, which is live from Taifa Hall at the University of Nairobi. My colleague Trevor Ombija is standing by there with top ministry officials, and they'll be going through all of that. So stand by for that. I know there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of inaccuracies of people who think that this and that and the other. Have your questions, have your comments. That is the show for you tonight. Switching gears, and the victims of the 1 billion shilling Finland education scholarships case told Nakuru Principal Magistrate Peter Ndege how they were duped to pay millions of shillings to secure slots for degree programs in various universities in Finland. Now, the witnesses revealed that the overseas funding program was marketed as a scholarship by the county government of Uasin Gishu. Let's get more from our very own Marianne Nyambura.
Jacinta Barasa, John Rotich and Naomi Yego, the 27th, 28th and 29th witnesses in the overseas education case involving Uasin Gishu Senator Jackson Mandago and two co-accused persons, Joshua Lele and Meshach Rono, testified before the Nakuru court how their dreams to study at Laurea University in Finland in September 2022 were cut short. Despite pumping millions of shillings to the program, it emerged that the scholarship program was a scam.
We were told by the officials that there were some groups who were ahead of us that had already delayed to go, so it was not possible for us to start the process. The officials who were Meshach, Joshua, and Tony, and even sometimes we were having forums with our governor himself, who was assuring us that everything would be okay.
John Rotich, a resident of Keses, was in Gishu and who enrolled for a course in physiotherapy and nursing at Laurea University, told Nakuru Principal Magistrate Peter Ndege that he paid 1.1 million shillings to the Uasin Gishu Overseas Trust Fund between 15th August 2022 to September 9th, 2022. All the while, he knew that the Finland education program was a scholarship initiated by the county.
Hii ilikuwa county government program. Advert ya county. Managers ni county government employees. Mwenye alianzisha program ni Mandago mwenyewe. So, you cannot question. Hata ukiambiwa enda lipa. So, mbona uko kotini? Misappropriation of funds.
The witnesses told the court that the delays in acquiring visas and subsequent delays in starting the program meant that they were defrauded.
Nataka refund yangu kwa sababu nimeitisha wakiniambia hivi na hivi hasijarudishwa hadi sasa.
Siko Finland sababu pesa haikulipwa. Kama pesa ingalipwa ningekuwa pesa gani mambo sasa ikaribika. Nilienda county. Nobody was responding.
29 witnesses out of the 202 lined up have testified. The hearing resumes on Thursday, 26th September 2024. Marianne Nyambura, Citizen TV.
All right, news from further afield. And President William Ruto has called on the global community to help tackle energy poverty and promote renewable energy expansion, particularly in Africa. Ruto, who was speaking at the Global Renewable Summit in New York, cited the significant progress made at COP28, where world leaders committed to tripling renewable energy capacity and doubling energy efficiency by 2030. The president also highlighted the severe energy access disparities across the globe, with nearly 600 million Africans still lacking access to electricity. Now, the president also pointed out the potential of investable renewable energy on the continent, noting that the continent is home to 60% of the world's best solar resources, but receives less than 2% of global investment in renewable energy. An issue, he says, can be addressed through the Africa Green Industrialization Initiative. now which aims to industrialize Africa's sustainability by leveraging its renewable energy sources. Ruto further expressed concern that this energy shortfall threatens the progress of the entire sustainable development of Africa.
On both supply of and demand for renewable energy at the forefront. By doing so, we can unlock ideas, partnerships, and approaches expanding our range of solutions.
While we speak to the urgent need for financing as we continue to do with the Bridgetown Initiative, and while we push for greater amounts to be applied there, not just of public money, but of other money and public-private approaches, we have to also come to grips with the reality that there are some non-financial issues that can also undermine our ability to reach this target.
All right. On that note, we're going to take our first break here on Jeff Koinange Live and let you know that right after the break, because the topic of conversation is so important, 6 days from now, we switch from NHIF to SHIF under the Social Health Authority. We're going to be going live to Taifa Hall at the University of Nairobi. Our colleague Trevor Ombija standing by to talk to top government officials on the way forward. He also has guests on the panel and also on the floor to ask questions and comments, and we'd like yours as well, so send them through at Koinange Jeff at Citizen TV Kenya. The hashtag is JKLIVE. JKLIVE takes a break. We'll be back in a moment. In the meantime, coming up, the SHA rollout. We are live from the University of Nairobi with a panel comprising of top ministry officials. It is exactly 33 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Jeff Koinange Live here at Citizen Television. Now, an increasing number of Kenyans are striking gold in the Jipange na Viusasa promotion. Now, this week's a lucky winner, Pamela Ndege, a small-scale farmer from Nyamira County, could not contain her joy as she walked away with more than 1 million shillings after participating in the weekly draw. Take a look.
More Kenyans are joining the Millionaires Club through the Jipange na Viusasa promotion, which awards the lucky winners of a weekly draw of 1 million shillings and daily winners of 50,000 Kenya shillings.
We want to get on call with this week's winner of 1 million bob.
Pamela Ndege, a resident of Nyamira County and a regular participant in the promotion, is the latest winner, taking home 1 million Kenya shillings after watching videos on Viusasa.
Pamela, nilikuwa nakujulisha wewe ndio umeshinda 1 milioni kwa ushindi wa Jipange, ushinde na Viusasa. Hello, iririta na ile akiwa hivi.
Pamela, who entered the promotion by spending just 50 shillings, says the prize will significantly transform her family's fortunes.
Karibu sana. Uko salama? Niko salama.
2 more winners from last week's draws also had a reason to celebrate. Julia Nyambura won 50,000 Kenya shillings, while Suleiman Mwangi walked away with 1 million Kenya shillings.
How do you feel now that you are a winner of 50,000 shillings on Jipange?
Yeah. Mimi ningependa kuambia watu wa nyumbani, Jipange na Viusasa ni kitu leo, na mwenye alikuwa na wasiwasi na hii game ajue kutoka leo ni kitu real.
Achangamke pia.
Achangamke pia.
Mimi nikaingia kwa February, nikafinya 72 41 77, nikaweka 50 bob. Hapo ndio nilishidia.
To participate and stand a chance to win 50,000 Kenya shillings daily, 1 million Kenya shillings weekly, or the 3 million Kenya shillings grand prize, simply dial *487*3# and select the Jipange na Viusasa option. The more videos you watch, the higher chances of becoming a millionaire.
Jipange bana, wacha jokes.
Ben Kirui,
Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Coming up, KICC predicts triple profits in the next 3 years on the back of infrastructure investments made over the last 2 years.
Introducing Sour Milking Jelly from Pwani Oil Products. Sour Milking Jelly is natural and preservative-free, crafted with purity in mind, ensuring a clean, natural choice for your household needs. With its high melting point, Sour Milking Jelly stays solid, providing reliable performance whenever you need it most. The user-friendly pack allows for easy scooping until the very end. Experience the versatility and reliability of Sour Milking Jelly today. A pure and natural choice for your household needs, available at your nearest shop.
Mabraze, chekini story fulani la penjuzi mtani record manze.
Lakini bro, kazi itakuwa tu ni kujaza simu na hizi mavida.
Ai, kujinice tu kaka.
Mwananchi ndani huyo anarada imelalia pesa. Leta tenje ni kusho vile tutaomoka. Citizen Digital wako na platform fulani kwa site yao inaitwa Wananchi Reporting. Hapa unaweza tuma story yako kwa website yao ama kwa app yao ya Citizen Digital. Na kama hiyo process ni ngumu, unaweza tuma story kwa email yao, WhatsApp number ama uitumie kama SMS.
Alafu gani napataje bro?
After story yako imepublishiwa, hapo ndo una receive 1000 kwa simu yako.
Bro, au umenichanua.
Don't just witness the news, be part of breaking it. Download the Citizen Digital app and share your story with Wananchi Reporting today. Citizen Digital. Try the new Dunked All-Star Box for only 890 Kenyan shillings. Hope you're ready for the new star of the show. KFC, it's finger-licking good while stocks last.
You should be the next singing superstar.
Has dull and uneven skin tone taken away your confidence? Presenting Shalina Healthcare's new Epiglow. With power of triple radiance complex, an innovative technology that gives you glowing skin by reducing dark spots in 28 days. Skin science for a perfect glow. New Epiglow.
Explore the nature and create from it. The spirit of inventors leads to the inspiration for new technology. By drawing nature's energy, we create the extraction tech. Small in size, huge in power. Millions of microcapsules condense the essence of nature. Join us, KICC Invent for Life.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, SoftCare always stays with you.
New SoftCare Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
SoftCare. Protect your leap.
People come to me and they say they get discomfort when they have ice cream. Can you imagine that? Avoiding having cold ice cream. Sensodyne gives you long-lasting protections against sensitivity. And people come in and they're like, oh, it works. I can have ice cream and I'm not in any discomfort. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
Welcome to HomeLink Mabati Factory, your trusted partner in roofing. Place your order for box profile, V-tile, prime tile and canopy sheets and enjoy affordable prices and free delivery on 0794 800 000. HomeLink Mabati Factory. We promise, we deliver.
Irrespective of size,
Each business has potential risks that can wipe it out. Insurance companies today provide combined business insurance covers to suit your business type. Learn more at understandinsurance.co.ke.
Patch Africa Housing Limited presents Ruaka Heights, a premier mixed-use development featuring 2 9-floor towers offering studios, 1, 2 and 3 bedroom units, along with commercial spaces. Located in Ruaka, just 14 kilometers from Nairobi CBD, Ruaka Heights are designed with modern living in mind, featuring spacious layouts, high-quality finishes. Residents can enjoy amenities such as ample parking, a fully equipped gym, high-speed lifts. Fresh water is available, with borehole serving as a backup. Flexible payments plan are available. Contact us or visit our website.
Miss Ayel, you know that I've been working on the investigation of the fraud made on the company for many months, and we need to check all departments, including yours.
Of course, you're right.
Well, I've decided that Rebecca will go back to the restaurant.
What? Are you saying that she's going to be working there again?
Mm-hmm. I know perfectly well where you want that to end, but I'm warning you once and for all that I won't allow it.
Hey. You're not threatening my wife.
It is exactly 43 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Jeff Koinange Live here at Citizen Television on to Business News. And over the last 2 years, the national government has injected 1.9 billion shillings in upgrading the Kenyatta International Convention Center. Now, investment came in anticipation of the higher-level conferences that were held at the facility, including the Africa Climate Summit, the International Development Association meetings, the IDA, and the Africa Development Bank Governors Meeting. Our very own Jimmy Mbogo spoke to the KICC CEO on the turnaround plan for the facility.
Over 5 decades, the Kenyatta International Convention Center has been the region's premier conference center. But in the recent past, the once glorious landmark seemingly lost its glory, turning into a loss-making enterprise. This necessitated a 1.9 billion shilling capital injection to renovate the facility. The investment was done over the last 2 years, and now, according to KICC Chief Executive Officer James Mwaura, the capital injection was used to upgrade the facility, pushing it back to profitability. They closed the last financial year with a 234 million shillings profit after tax, a trend that the management says they intend to pursue aggressively.
The year ending 30th June 2024, we are reporting a post-tax profit of 234 million. Yeah. The gross revenue, and that is just that year, will go to approximately 4 billion. Yeah. I'm looking at KICC that will be posting above 1 billion profit, post-tax profit. And the strategy to that is just making a major leap in terms of local market. And how we approach the local market is introduction of product offerings that are geared towards the local clientele.
To ensure the sustainability of this profitability, KICC will not only rely on the seasonal tourism activities. The management now wants to tap into the entertainment space in search of new revenue lines through activities such as concerts and production.
We've invested heavily on bringing that entertainment element of the high-pressure dancing fountains. We are at a very advanced stage of revitalizing the heliport. I think we're already done with the Kenya Airports Authority, meteorology. So before long, we shall have guys starting shooting movies at that heliport, and of course it is another revenue stream.
At the same time, MICE stakeholders have intensified their call to sell Kenya as a single MICE destination, even as they call for further investment in the sector, particularly in technology, to take advantage of the hybrid conferences, as well as product differentiation to improve Kenya's chances when bidding for international conferences.
as tourism players, we really need to understand what is the lowest hanging fruit that we need. Because once we have been able to grow tourism and we are able to understand the lowest hanging fruit, that when we have been able to grow tourism, the push for all things is going to come in automatically.
Jimmy Mbogo, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
All right, Jimmy, thanks so much for that. Now, Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome says more than 145,000 housing units are under construction under the Affordable Housing Program across the country. Now, speaking in Mombasa at the official opening of the National Construction Authority Conference, the CS said that 9,000 units are near completion, undergoing final touches. 75,000 are under construction, with a further 60,000 units set to be procured within the current financial year. Now, on his part, Executive Director Maurice Okech used stakeholders to build climate-resilient infrastructure that can withstand and adapt to climate-related challenges.
We appreciate that's going to help end up with what we call efficient and eliminate delays, as well as minimize on disputes.
Target for 200,000 units is likely to be achieved by about February for within the year. You know, of course, we are funding our work with the affordable housing levy, and the amount that we are collecting, the public is aware they are paying us, people with pay slips. So far, it's about 63 to 65 billion.
All right, now on to our weekly feature, Smart Farm. And on this week's edition, we dive into the world of horticulture in the Netherlands, a small country with a massive impact on global agriculture. Now, despite its size, the Netherlands is the second largest exporter of agricultural products worldwide. At the heart of the success is the World North Center, a global hub for horticultural innovation. Our very own Dennis Otieno takes a look at more of this at the center in this week's Smart Farm.
The Netherlands, often called the breadbasket of Europe, has become one of the world's top agricultural exporters thanks to cutting-edge innovations in farming. To understand their success in horticulture, we head to the city of Rotterdam, home to the World Horticenter.
The World Horticenter is a typical kind of Dutch collaboration between education, the industry, doing research, suppliers, growers, bankers. Everything is connected to the horticultural sector, and we try together to help each other to make each other stronger and better and to reach beautiful results, to feed the world and to give the world a lot of beautiful flowers and plants.
The World Horticenter is more than just a research facility. It's an exhibition space where the latest innovations in greenhouse horticulture are showcased. In a nutshell, it is a global knowledge and innovation hub. According to Hans Leitenberg, a horticulture expert, scientists and researchers are constantly developing new methods for growing crops more efficiently.
A Dutch grower is a control freak. He wants to control everything. Water, nutrients, humidity, light, temperature, everything. And that is possible in a controlled situation. And a greenhouse is a controlled situation. And it gives us the possibility to try out new technologies, new possibilities, etc., new varieties. We are looking for all kinds of possibilities to improve the quality of the food.
The Netherlands has mastered the art of greenhouse cultivation. With over 9,000 hectares of high-tech greenhouses, 80% of their cultivated land is under glass, enabling them to grow a wide range of temperature-sensitive crops year-round. These fully automated greenhouses use advanced climate control systems to monitor and care for plants 24/7, ensuring high yields regardless of external conditions. Innovations like LED lighting and hydroponic systems allow plants to thrive with minimal water and energy use. The result, according to Hans, year-round production of high-quality vegetables and other plants.
What you see in history that we try to get a connection with nature. And then we created greenhouses. Greenhouses to a controlled situation where we can hardly control a lot of things. And the next generation is that we are growing in vertical farming. That means that we can grow on totally controlled circumstances with artificial light, artificial soil, artificial whatever. And so we can try to produce a lot of healthy food for a reasonable price. But that needs a lot of technology. And we have to do a lot of research and a lot of investments, because there is enough food on the world, but there is not enough for each greed. Yeah, so we try to produce food in any circumstances.
Researchers are also exploring ways to reduce environmental impact, experimenting with hydroponic systems that allow plants to grow without soil and using advanced techniques to improve water conservation and soil quality. Despite the advancements witnessed in the Dutch horticulture, Hans has a word of advice to Kenyan farmers.
My message to you: take care of the quality of your water. Take care of your insects. Without insects, no pollination. No pollination, no food. There's water, insects, and take care of your seed. Yeah? Try to keep control of your own seed production in your own country.
Now, every year, about 30,000 visitors visit the World Horti Center to witness the Dutch prowess in horticulture. Dennis Otieno for Smart Farm, the Netherlands.